Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News, the show that may or may not be 5 minutes. Today in the news, as we've said before, Xbox 360 is on the way out, and with it, the 360 store. If you wanted to buy any digital games, or DLC, or any entertainment things on the Xbox 360 store, as of July 29th, 2024, you will no longer be able to do so. According to Video Games Chronicle, it does not affect the ability to buy backwards compatible Xbox 360 games and DLC on the Xbox One or Xbox Series XS stores, which will continue to be available. Microsoft stresses that while the Xbox 360 store will close down on July 29th, 2024, players using their Xbox 360 consoles after this date will still be able to use all their previously purchased Xbox 360 games and DLC. It also notes that if players have deleted a game that they purchased, they will still be able to re-download it. Which is good news for those of you out there who want to return to your 360 and experience the days of old. I'm sure there are a few of you out there. However, it's not so great for digital-only releases. While many 360 titles are available thanks to Xbox's awesome backwards compatibility, when it comes to digital-only Xbox games, similar to the 3DS and Wii U store shutdown, they were never made backwards compatible and will disappear with the closure of the online store, which, as Video Games Chronicle pointed out, is roughly more than 220 digital games. There are those who would consider some titles less of a loss than others. Various titles on our list are available on other systems or received better versions on later generations of hardware, such as Valiant Hearts: The Great War, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, and Life is Strange, all of which have separate Xbox One versions. It could be argued, however, that game preservation isn't a selective process, and that every version of a game is of equal importance in that game's history. And preservation being the key word here, because as more games become digital, and look, I'm a sucker for digital games, I like storing stuff in a digital space rather than a physical one, but even I'll be the first to admit that we're at a place where as more stuff becomes digital, we risk losing more and more of the history of gaming, because if an online digital store shuts down, we may in fact lose any game that was designed just for that, or available just in that store, which is extremely detrimental to the archiving and preservation of the history of video games, which is a fascinating one, and one that inspires so many amazing videos. Half the videos on this damn platform in the gaming space are people talking about something you probably never heard of in the history of gaming. And that's what makes it so cool, and having access to that stuff, that's why preservation is important. In other spookier news, it looks like Alan Wake 2 is moving its release date from the 17th to the 27th, which is probably for the best, because that middle of the month was crammed full of games, and I don't feel like they want to compete with Spider-Man, which comes out roughly in the same week. In the official notice Remedy shared, October is an amazing month for game launches, and we hope this date shift gives more space for everyone to enjoy their favorite games. We can't wait to show you what everyone's favorite novelist is up to in the dark place next week. Thanks for your patience. Which is pretty funny, because we just talked about how Assassin's Creed Mirage was moving after being put so close to Alan Wake 2 and Spider-Man, and now Alan Wake 2 is moving to avoid Spider-Man. It turns out, if Alan fears anything, it's spiders, but I guess a lot of people do. It just goes to show you the power of the IP of Spider-Man, and really how many people they think are going to play this thing, which I'm going to be one of them, and I get it. I get why you would move. Also, October 27th, it's spookier, it makes more sense, and it allows more people to do like a Halloween-themed stream, thus promoting the game. I get it. Completely here for it. I'm very excited for Alan Wake 2. I know that Gentleman's Gaming Club is going to do an Alan Wake retrospective video that'll probably be, I don't know, early October. Look forward to that. Very excited for it. Either way, October is going to be a wild month. Speaking of wild, it's time for your Crenminute.
Hello everybody, how's it going? It's me, Crendor. Welcome back to the Crenminute, my once-a-week segment where I get to talk about whatever I want for a minute. Today, we're talking about headlights, car headlights that are too bright. As somebody who was just getting over a concussion, it was even more annoying because you would just see the bright lights and be like, ah. But even when I'm normal, those headlights are terrible. It's just, they're blinding. You can't even see. I don't know how they're even legal. It seems like everybody's got them now. I heard somebody be like, well, they got to get adjusted or something, so they're angled at the ground. Listen, I don't care. They're bright, they're dumb, and I don't like them. What happened to the good old-fashioned, dim yellow lights? That's all you need, right? Unless you're out in, like, the wilderness or something, but I guarantee most people aren't, right? I don't know. Either way, that's my Cren Minute. Check out youtube.com/Cox and Crendor podcast, the best, worst podcast on the internet. See ya.
Thanks again, Crendor. Anyway, that is it. See y'all next week for another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News.